Hello, welcome to the artclasses.com. Today we are going to paint a character from Xmen, Storm. Previously I did a speed painting of Storm. I spent about 20 to 30 minutes to put up the scene up pretty quick and just kind of doing the light and shadow and really quick, and I look at it again, I was like, it's got potential, maybe I could spend some more time with this. So this is the second part, and then that's going to be a third part that I'm going to finish the whole thing up. There's some of them are still pretty sketchy, but that was the one that I was referring to, the first speed painting of Storm. Everything was pretty rough. It wasn't meant to be finished. It was really speed painting, so there's not really thing to it except like the figure was really small, but it's got everything. So that was the previous one, but and now I cropped it and trying to make better of the figure and the shape and everything else rendered with the shadow. Anyways, I thought you might enjoy it. And this is the second part, and that's gonna be the third part to finish it up. Let's get started. So here's what I have from the previous speed painting of Storm character from Xmen. Usually when I start doing speed painting, I'm trying not to make it over a couple hours. It should be done in one sitting. A lot of people go into extreme of like half an hour, which that is fine also, because speed painting is more like supposed to be like a study of light and shadow. So that's where the first painting of Storm came from. And a lot of professional concept artists usually have their speed painting forum or thread that they go to, and they just wing it out their lunchtime and trying to paint something really quick. So first thing first, over here I tried to fix up her face, because it was just light and shadow, so I didn't mean to paint a real feature onto the Storm character in this speed painting. And now I am putting a real facial construction on her face, or trying to get the real shape of her nose, put the real shape on her lips and her eyes. So now I'm trying to round up her eyes and make her eyes a little more presentable, or I'm trying to make her attractive. And I'm also trying to make her look a little more African-like, rather than just Caucasian with darker skin, which a lot of times you see that and it doesn't look right. So I'm trying to put an African feature on her. And the thing about also notice dark skin. The darker the skin goes, it tend to reflect, catches more highlights, or they tend to have a little more reflective surface. It's a little more gloss. It's kind of like a little more leathery. If your skin is super light, then it doesn't have that much of a reflection on when it got the hot spot hit. Because if you have dark skin, the hot spot can be really white. If you notice, if you go to live painting, and if your skin is really pale or fair, then the white hot spot become not noticeable, and it's not as contrast, I would say. And now I'm trying to make her facial feature has a more prominent jaw and a really sexy but deadly looking eyes, and she just kind of looks straight up at you. At first I put what do you call the iris onto both of her eyes, but later on I changed my mind. I decided, well, since she looked like she was casting spells, so I might as well go back to the original concept that I have, or I paint to begin with, and make her eye glow in the white instead. And I decided to, the first time I did the speed painting of Storm, I decided to paint her because I really like the new design of the new Storm, with the new haircut. What do you call it? A mohawk and the new design of her costume, I think it really cool. And it's not, because I don't like the old design that she has, like a headdress like a Scarlet Witch. It seems like a lot of Marvel character has that sort of weird headdress. I don't know who came up with that. Most of their art are amazing, but it just the headdress just throw me off. It's like it doesn't really make any sense designs wise. But it's always been there. That means it somehow works with the audience because the books sell pretty well. So I guess I'm the minority of not liking the headdress. Maybe I'm just weird like that. And since it's a mohawk, so when the mohawk go up, the light is coming from the left hand side of your left hand side if you're looking at it, and when it hit the part of the hair that are the mohawk hair, it's casting the shadow. I'm thinking that I should make a series of video about light and shadow and how to render. I was thinking about that. So when you render light and shadow, or when you trying to find out where you should put the lights on and the shadows on, things that you should be concerned about is shape or form of the object you are painting. And the reason a bunch of us has to practice render, the pencil in art class, a bunch of art students has to do a sphere or a ball, and you have to like render that black and white, and a cone, and a cube, and what's the other one I can't remember, a pyramid. And the reason being is that so that you get to practice those and you can apply those form onto practice. Like you can analyze the character or a person or a robot that you design. You can analyze what plane they're facing the light, and what plane that goes parallel to the light, and what plane that goes behind the light or without the light. So when you analyze those objects form, and I'm flipping the canvas, so if you see my video before, you probably know that flipping the canvas is pretty useful when you trying to fix things. Like she already look weird because I just flipped the canvas and I flip it so that I know where to fix it. Like look like part of her other eye is a little wider, so I need to fix that. And flipping also make you see a lot of things if there was like some things bigger than the others. I mean, you can fix a lot of things, but when you paint, you have to realize nothing is perfect. You can always find a flaw in everything, and especially if you don't have any reference, you just paint out your head. Even if you have a reference, there's still nothing could be perfect. If worst come to worst, you don't make it too obvious that people can actually see, oh, that's something is really wrong with that. But if this, you probably could see that if the shoulder is wrong, it's really wrong, or something is really off. But most of the time, you're going to see a minor anatomical problem, or minor composition problem, or minor light and shadow issue. Nothing's perfect, because I mean, most of the time you have to. A lot of professional artists have to work within the limited amount of time. A lot of time you can see, as long as the image represent something that you want to speak, the visual, or as long as it represents your idea and it doesn't come out and look bad, or look unpresentable, or looks amateurish, or dare I say, but as long as it looks good, and as long as it's pleased to the eyes and it's present the ideas, then it's fine. You can always find a minor issue on everything, like the hair color, or like when sometimes we have meeting and people will like nitpick on certain things, like, oh, that color, or that, and we could always have to change, or that hand, and sometimes when you want to come up with some new idea, you gotta tweak a certain. But anyways, we're going back to the hair, and you notice I'm painting this hair. I'm trying to paint the tip of the hair lighter than the bottom or the base of the hair, so it's when it's go out, it has this it creates the harder edge with the background, and then when it's coming down to a little grayish area that close to the skin, it even though it's a different color than her skin tone, but value wise it's a lot closer to her skin tone, so it doesn't look like it's like it blends in a little bit more. So it's create a softer edge between her skull and her hair, so it doesn't create that harsh edge. So that's why I'm trying to leave the darker value of the at the base of the hair. And yeah, that's kind of one of my, I could say, like trick, what I learned from others. I don't know, but sometimes I don't even know if what I do is my trick or what I do is like what I learn from others. I would assume a lot of time I've probably seen some other people do it, or I've seen in some picture and I try to interpret it, and I try to accidentally copy from some other people. And now I'm adding, since it has a orange light reflect, so I'm trying to add the bounce light. And I should say I should make a tutorial on the bounce light, or what kind of color the bounce light should have, like what depends on whatever the environment. I should actually do a real a real lesson tutorial rather than just make this quick video here and there. I think it would be more valuable, even though I don't demonstrate much. And then I cut the head and I paste it on because I think her neck is a little too short in the beginning, so I cut and paste it, and now I'm refining her face a little bit more. And trying to refine her face in the shadow. And if you notice, part of the face that are in the shadow, you have to keep, is basically if you squint your eyes and paint something, her face only has two basic value of the shadow and the light, the part that has a shadow and the part that has a light, and that's it, not much more. And now I'm trying to refine her neck, and probably going to refine her costume a little bit more, and her jawline. So now she looks a lot better than she was, because originally she doesn't have any facial feature at all, just a dab of paint here and there, and that was pretty much it. So I'm zooming out so I can see the whole body, and now I'm re-sculpting her body to make it a little more, a little better. So, you know, fixing up her anatomy, basically her figure. Because when I first initial paint, I usually start drawing, or when I start speed painting, I usually make a figure more, treat the figure more like gesture drawing. And my gesture drawing, or a lot of people gesture drawing, you have to exaggerate, and that's when you're gonna see the intention of the pose, or you can see the flow and everything better. You can see like her shoulder popping up, so you can feel the tension. So when I draw the gesture, when I exaggerate the position of the feet or the arm that waving out, it's show, or it convey the feelings, or not the feeling, it convey the movement. And that's why those gestures are, it never look anatomically correct, but it looks beautiful and graceful if you do it right, and it's often has a lot more appeal than the stiff correct figure. And now I'm trying to, you know, reorganize her chest basically, and assigning some light and shadow. I use when I know what value it would have, and I'm assigning some underlighting, the orange. This one I fast forwarded pretty quick, about three times as fast, because I spent a lot of time doing this. And I'm just adding more light and shape onto the arm. But I usually start out with just flat color first, and the color of the black, almost black, that I borrowed from her leggings. So pretty much I already have most of the color I need in this figure, and the next step is pretty much just have to put them in the right spot according to the wherever the lights and the shadows are, and I'm gonna have to try to make them look nice. And it's really sometimes really hard that when you don't have reference, and I think I should have reference or use reference more than just trying to wing it out. But in this one I'm painting, I didn't have time to get a visual reference for whatever I needed to, because I just speed painting over 30 minutes, and now I'm painting this off of the speed painting that I have. But sometimes it works out if you paint a lot from real life, and you look at your background, and you analyze enough. A lot of people can paint from imagination, and some people doesn't need to practice from real life at all. Some people are just really good at painting from imagination to begin with, because they already look at a bunch of books and of illustration, so they paint based off of illustration, especially when you paint cartoon and things like that. But I would suggest painting from real life and practice from life setting. You probably get more valuable lesson from those, and you can apply those to, even though you're doing stylized or cartoon stuff. Because I've seen people, if you're saying like Pixar, those guys are amazing, and those guys are real professional, and they do, Disney and Pixar, they do a lot of light drawing from real people. And if you I have a bunch of friends who works there, and they are real, they are solid at that, like real life figure, and they can pull off a bunch of realistic stuff. And once you can do that, when you're trying to morph the realistic into a caricature, they can do it better than a person who does not know anything about real at all. So when they do light setting on a set, they can paint in a situation, okay, let's do the setting of this and that, and they can pull off a really good lighting that would make you feel a certain emotion. So yeah, I wasn't when I was working in the video, I wasn't even thinking about emotion or anything like that at all. I was just like, well, did I do it right? Because it's really hard. Oops. So anyway, here's a storm painting. So this is the whole thing right here, and hopefully we'll get this one done on the third part pretty soon. And this is alright. Thanks for watching our tutorial from theartclasses.com. Don't forget to stop by the website, and if you have any question, post a comment down below, or download the ebook that I have if you haven't done it already. I assume a lot of you probably already have. And don't forget to check out my premium tutorial on the website, and those are proven to be very valuable to a lot of people. So yeah. Alright, have a great day. Support the website. Bye bye.